Okay, so let's talk through all these golf events that you have coming up.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. I've got my calendar right here. July 17th at Red Run, then July 31st, I have the American Golf outing for the Cancer Society.
I also have the American Cancer Society golf outing on the 31st. And also, I got yours on the 18th, buddy.
These are a lot of events and golf outings.
You want to have this golf tournament?
Gabby, they're all great.
Hold on. I got this. Guys, I got this. Don't worry about it. Hold on a second. Wise celebrity golf.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much. Brought to you in part by Premier Security Solutions, Fairway Packing Company, and Swiss Insurance. Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
Now, all good. Braylon Edwards, great to see you in the house, baby.
Good to see you and good to be here, Maz. It's good to see you as well. And I got excited thinking about you in the car. Not in that way. I was listening to the voice
What kind of way you
Dan
talking,
Dickerson.
Oh, Double D.
And as I'm listening to Double D, Miguel Cabrera hits his first home run of the season. The soon to be, or actually his 40th. His birthday's in April, so we're both 1983. Shout out to Miggy hitting a home run. And guess what? It was followed up by another jack by Haas. So back-to-back dingers for the Detroit Tigers.
You know who got one before that?
Who got?
Torkelson.
Spencer Torkelson.
There you go.
He's getting hot.
Sir Torkelson.
He's getting hot. Hey, happy
Spencer.
Flag Day to everybody.
Happy Flag Day to you, Mavs. Hey, just as a thing with Torkelson, Braylon, we had Jim Leland on the show yesterday.
I love Jim Leland. Sorry.
Let me tell you, it was so great to hear from Jim Leland. We asked him about Spencer Torkelson, and he's like, look, Power's got to get there, and he still has the ability to be a star, this, that, and the other thing. But one of the things he also said was he cannot stand, and those are my words, not his, but he hates the analytics. He's like, I don't care about how fast it came off his bat. Did it go over the fence or not?
That's awesome.
Did it go over the fence or not?
Did it go over the fence or not?
Yeah.
And I just that guy is so great. And hey, Spencer Torkelson, lighten up a little bit. Lighten up the offense.
Something else that caught my attention, Ryan Ermanni and Tom Mazawey, and I hope we have him on the line soon, is I was watching E60. E60 has a new special, Once Upon a Time. And I think it was Once Upon a Time in Anaheim.
Yep, in Anaheim.
And it's about the story of the Mighty Ducks. It's a story about Steve Brill, who wrote the Mighty Ducks and how the team was adapted. And I just thought that the story was so great. It's quick when it's an E60.
Yeah.
Those are the best because they're quick. They're in and out to give you everything you need. But the thing I learned about it is you cannot tell the story of the Mighty Ducks without the Detroit Red Wings. Who would have known? And I thought it would be important to get Darren McCarty on the phone and see how did he feel about the Mighty Ducks at the time, and if he could elaborate on the story. So, Tom Mazawey, do we have D-Mac?
He's coming.
He's coming?
He'll be there, but I want to tell you about it. I was at the playoffs when the Ducks wound up beating the Red Wings.
Right.
At the Joe
So,
Louis
let's see, hold on. So you went too far ahead. You skipped the whole story.
Oh,
that
sorry.
was that 93 or 90?
That's 2003 when they won.
Oh, 2003.
Yeah, when the Ducks beat us, it was after we won in 2002.
That's right.
They came back and beat us. But you can't tell the story without the, you know what? I think Darren's on the phone. Let's talk to D-Mac and let's get him involved. D-Mac, what's up, man?
Hey, Mac.
What up, B?
Big bro. Long time no see. I saw you Monday at Calvin's Island, correct?
Yeah, you won that, didn't you?
We did. First time ever.
Get
you seen
outta
me?
here. Did
I
you
did.
win that?
First time I've won an outing in 8-9 years. So it felt good to win,
Listen,
man.
I'll tell you this, dude. From right out of the gate, and I know that you had a great woman player with you or whatever.
Yeah.
But I saw you guys celebrate 5 different times by knocking in pots or whatever. Like so anybody that gives you any slack for it,
Right.
that was absolutely 100% legit.
See, that's why I call him Big Bro, man. Can always trust in D-Mac to have your back. Mac, I thought about you today. I was watching the E60 special, Once Upon a Time in Anaheim. It's a story of how the Mighty Ducks came into being. The movie was made in '92, written by Steve Brill. Disney buys the movie. They launched the movie. The movie's a big success. Then Disney says, the hell with it. Why not get a franchise? They expand the league 1993. Here come the Mighty Ducks. But I realized, Mac, you can't tell the story without the Detroit Red Wings. The first team that the Mighty Ducks played was the Detroit Red Wings. I want to say 95. I think it was 95 or 93. They played Detroit Red Wings. Red Wings beat them, Mac. Beat them 7-2. Then the first time the Ducks make the playoffs, guess who they got to play? Their reward is to play the Red Wings. Well, Red Wings skunk them 4-0. Next time they make the playoffs, who do they play? The Red Wings. Red Wings skunk them 4-0. And then after you guys won in 2002, Mac, 2003, they get a chance to beat you. Just talk about how the league felt about this Disney team entering the NHL in '93.
Well, I think it was, obviously, people weren't so serious, and you're trying to expand. You're talking 30 years ago to expand. That the Mighty Ducks had an absolute influence in that, 100% it is. And I'd love to hear from like the Austin Matthews and the younger, pros that are American to say, hey, how much influence it really had. But it was cool to be able to, out of everything, and you know this, B, there's a lot of things that you have on your plate as credentials. That's definitely one that I'm proud of, to be able to, kick off a new team like that.
Hey, Mac, I wanted to ask you, and welcome to the Final Word, by the way. And it's great to have you.
Oh, is it? Wow!
Final Word.
Is this like the inaugural? The last one? I mean, hey, it was a shit show on Big D Energy today. Thanks to Sam Flannel for that one. It's all his fault.
Oh, my God. I love
Just
it.
wanted to welcome you appropriately. Hey, the one thing about the Ducks, too, I remember as a Red Wings fan, all those years ago, the fact that it was, how many times did you hear, Sergei Fedorov is going to go to the Ducks? Sergei Fedorov is going to sign with the Ducks because his girlfriend, Anna Kournikova, wants to live out in L.A.
yeah.
All that stuff. Do you remember all that business?
Oh, absolutely. Especially, remember, after we won in 97, 98, when, Sergei was holding out and stuff like this, and what eventually went. Oh, we heard all about it. I figured since, that was the argument ever since those white Nike skates went on.
Yep.
I mean, it was on, but we always said Sergei is Anaheim. He is California cool. You know what I mean? He's like a California Russian. You know what I mean? If you know Sergei Fedorov, that's sort of like his speed. Like Detroit is my speed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's culturally. So we always thought that eventually when we were done winning, he would be a perfect fit. That would be a perfect fit for him when we were done with him.
Yeah, the good thing about too is very interesting is watching the show. I can't remember who was the big enforcer for the Mighty Ducks when they first came out in 93, 94. What was his name? It eludes me, but it'll come to me in a second, Mac.
There was Jim McKenzie. Listen, there's Jim McKenzie, Todd Ewan, You know, Stu Grimson was there for
Stu
a while.
Grimson.
They always
Grimson,
had
that's who it was, the Grim Reaper. That's exactly who it was. He was talking about, obviously, because it was, Disney and the Mighty Ducks, and it was the same little cartoony uniform. A lot of people came into, Anaheim, or whenever Anaheim came to a place like, man, we're going to beat these guys up and show them. He said, but they had a lot of guys on that team that the NHL didn't want. I think he made a comment about it, and that's how he ended up becoming there. And they said what got them some respect, they used to beat the hell out of people. It was like, yeah, we'll sorry. Look at this guy. He was like, yeah, we may lose games, but we beat the hell out of guys. So that gave us the respect, kind of like year 1, year 2. We weren't good, but people respected us on the ice.
Well, it was a war.
Yeah.
Every time you played Anaheim, I mean, they had some heavies, and that's the difference, right? 30 years ago, as we're sitting here today watching an expansion team, and it's really in its infancy in Las Vegas, win the Stanley Cup, but the expansion, the NHL, in the the 2009, 17 or whatever, when they did it, they set Las Vegas up for success. Back in the day, the expansion teams were just like dumping trash, guys that you didn't want, and mostly it was like tough guys and guys that would fight. But Anaheim, yeah, you had to pack a lunch every time you played them. You might beat them 7-2 on the scoreboard, but gosh darn it, there's gonna be 3 or 4 fights in the game.
Hey, Mac, just a side note on one of those overtime games I was sitting upstairs in the press box, but on the side of the press box, because that's where in the playoffs they put some of the media, the overflow, in the actual stands. So during one of the overtimes, I think it was going to a triple overtime, and people were just exhausted. And half the upper deck was gone, going downstairs to get more beer, whatever. All of a sudden, we see a disturbance. Literally a couple going at it upstairs at the Joe Louis Arena, and we were all getting a kick out of it. Just a little side note, while you guys were downstairs busting your butt, there were a couple of people upstairs doing their thing. That's all I got to say.
Listen, hey, you know what? Playoff time, Cup crazy. What are you going to do?
Nothing, man.
I mean, everybody's working hard.
They are. They did.
I'm glad you, Mr. Mazawey, I'm glad you were entertained.
I was.
That's what you brought out of an overtime playoff game.
Hey, man, never bored.
Thanks
man.
for having me on your program.
Hey, 1 second, man. How about those Golden Knights? The Florida Panthers, by the time this was all over, they probably got 5 guys that got broken bones, shoulder separations, lacerations, the works. I just read something on TSN that they got like 5 guys that are going to be out for up to 6 months.
Dang. They literally got their ass whipped.
Absolutely. Which, you know what? And that's the thing that sucks when you lose. Everything hurts more.
Yep.
Every surgery, rehab, stuff like this, I think it was well documented. Last year with the Boston Bruins, how injured, or the Tampa Bay Lightning, how injured some of those guys were trying to three-peat. But that's part of the game, man. So what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. I'm happy for Vegas and everybody who's a Vegas fan, and I don't buy into that you have to be around for a certain amount of time. Hey, listen, guys, I'm reading the stars, right? Denver Nuggets, first championship in the NBA. Las Vegas Knights, first championship in hockey. Could it be the Detroit Lions' turn?
Oh, yeah. Good man.
No,
I think it is.
That's how you leave an ender right there. But
Back in your cage, Ermanni.
This guy right here, you already know he's about to jump out of his seat as soon as you said that.
Thanks, man.
I'm wearing the Honolulu blue today, baby.
But
Honolulu blue.
Before we let you go, Mac, the point of that story was it wasn't just me. It wasn't just the city of Detroit. It was everyone in this country knew Hockey Town was and always will be Detroit, Michigan. Shout out to you, Mac.
Love you, Mac.
Love you, man.
Love you guys. Thanks for having me on your show.
Anytime.
Anytime, bro.
Anytime.
Great stuff. All right, D-Mac. Thanks for listening to D-Mac Neil Rule every day live 11 to 1 or whenever you want here on YouTube. Look for their social clips throughout the day as well. Woodward Sports, Big D Energy. We are coming right back. More on the Vegas Knights win last night, and the Pistons make an introduction as their head coach and the man in charge now, Monty Williams, takes over. You'll hear from him coming up, but first a message from Big Boy.
All right. right, guys, you know it. Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy. Catch it while you can. Start it off with a great breakfast. How about those strawberry hotcakes or the mouth-watering red velvet waffle? If you're not in the mood for a little breakfast, how about a little snack, a little lunch? The strawberry bacon chicken wrap or a refreshing summer splash salad. And don't you leave without those desserts. You know it. It's the classic strawberry pie, a little whipped cream on that, the deep-fried vanilla Oreos, and the strawberry hot fudge cake. Could be all yours. Plus, they got Big Boys as well at your local Big Boy.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. We are the network for Detroit, by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Join us at the Dispo Family Live at their Hazel Park location on June 23rd for the Ermanni and Edwards show. Woodward, let's get it cracking. I'm excited about this one. Excited to get to that location. And the heavyweights, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Come prepared as Dispo Dispensary takes your cannabis experience to new heights. Say hello to the summer with Dispo.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Just a final thought on the hockey. I do believe it's great for Vegas itself. They love that team out there. It's the first professional sports team out in Las Vegas. There will be all 4 of them eventually that will be there. The Raiders followed. They will get the A's, and then an NBA franchise will follow after that. But there is a love between Vegas and their Golden Knights. However, I just don't believe, I disagree with Darren McCarty. That Stanley Cup is probably more so than any other trophy, iconic. And you work a lifetime to get it. Not to minimize the other sports, but that specific trophy, first and foremost. I think of Toronto and think of the decades that they've been trying to win that damn cup. I just think you should have to suffer a little bit more. I think you should have to suffer a little bit more. They've been in existence 6 years.
It's their second final.
Yes. Thank you, Mass. They've been to 2 Stanley Cup
They stock
finals.
these teams now. It's different. Back in the day, Anaheim, they weren't stocked. The Florida Panthers, the Avalanche. Avalanche was not an expansion. They switched cities. But, the Florida Panthers, the Tampa Bay Lightning, they were terrible when they first started. Now it's different. They stock these teams, and they want them to compete right away. So that's today's hockey. Last night, you could roll this tape, by the way, the 41-second tape here I got, as we talk.
Okay.
Jonathan Marchessault, he won the Conn Smythe Trophy last night. Their captain, he got a hat trick last night. First time somebody scored a hat trick in a clinching game in over 100 years.
1921.
Wow. Isn't that something? They did a lot of great things. It was fun to watch them. They're a big bruising team. I still believe if Florida started a week earlier, they would have gave them a better match. Vegas was the better team. Florida played their ass off. Hats off to the Rats.
Florida played their ass off. Florida Panthers, we thought this would be their year. They were, number 1 seed last year. They lost in the first round, so we thought they could be the team to do it this year. Just didn't happen, and too much power out there in Vegas. And Ryan, man, I understand, but I got to disagree with you on what you said.
You disagree with me?
It happens.
How in the world can you do that?
Look, man, it happens.
Man.
It rarely happens, but it does happen. You said, teams should have to suffer. People should have to suffer. Look, man, this is a different day and age, man. Everything is faster.
Yeah, there's no suffering.
Everything is, exactly. It made us what we are. It makes this kid who it is. But you show the expansion. You show how fast you can have success, man. And once other teams, other cities want to be involved, you expand the brand. Hell, maybe it'll get 2 more NHL teams. Maybe expand their brand because Lord knows they need the viewership. So I think it could expand. Like, shoot, hey, we give you a hockey team. You built the stadium. We give you a hockey team. We'll meet you in 8 years. How does that sound for a deal? They're the first professional franchise to win in Vegas and more. What type of scheme? They were the first franchise there. Second franchise to wear because the WNBA's Las Vegas Aces won last year before they did. Asia Wilson, outstanding player. But you're going to see more and more and more. We bring the A's out here. The A's are going to win within 5 to 6 years. You bring somebody, it's going to happen because that's the way the dollar crumbles. When I was playing, I paid $5 million. Now you got bench warmers making $20 million. Everything is faster. Everything is more.
Hey, look how great they put a hell of a show on in Vegas.
They do.
And their owner, who was a former Army guy, that's why he named them the Golden Knights. He said, we're going to win a cup in 6 years. They won it in 6 years.
Yeah, it's incredible. David Gittleman says Vegas is a destination game for 30% of that stadium is visiting teams' fans on any given night. Yeah, that's because all of the Vegas fans are packing the sports books.
Exactly. They like, look, we're supporting from a different part of the city.
You should have seen the video that Circa Sports tweeted out from their world's largest sports book and all that stuff. I mean, there were people on the rafters. They were spraying champagne. I mean, it was awesome.
Do you see who represents Vegas?
Circa Sports.
Circa
Derek
is there.
Stevens, Michigan graduate, Birmingham businessman.
How big is that?
Shout out to the University of Michigan. See, we're everywhere.
I mean, they are everywhere.
What do you mean they? You mean we?
We are everywhere.
But I mean, going back to just the Vegas thing, you said, the joke. He's like, that's because 30% of it. Who cares?
Right.
Who cares how many of their fans are traveling fans? It doesn't matter. They pack the arena. They have a great environment. And that owner, man, as we talked about it last year doing, I want to say the All-Star game. Their All-Star game was phenomenal.
Yep.
The things that they did. I just remember their American, the anthem, the national anthem.
Yeah.
And the guy, because he does all their games, he killed it. They understand show business in Vegas. Hell, they create. Well, they're second. New York created showbiz, but Vegas comes next.
It's like medieval times. I don't know if you've ever been to medieval times. That's their pregame show.
Yeah.
They put a whole show on. Some say it's way overboard, but you know what? You're going to go play there. That's a home ice advantage. Just some of the Panthers guys. Listen, one guy had a high ankle sprain that said it would should have kept him out for a month. He was out one period.
Yeah, it's incredible.
One freaking period.
How does that happen? How does that work? You know what I mean?
These guys are
so adrenaline.
They're different animals.
It's like Paul Correa. We sitting here talking about the Mighty Ducks. Paul Correa got knocked out and didn't move in 2000. What was it, 2003?
That's right.
He didn't move for like 6 minutes on the ice. Take him back in the locker room. He comes back and scores 2 goals.
Isn't that
like
unbelievable?
Athletes are created different. Hockey players, they are real. I got to concede to D-Mac. It's taken me 2 years. Hockey players are different. They're wired different.
Kachuk had a broken sternum.
Yeah.
And he
It's
played.
the stomach monsoon.
Sternum!
Sorry.
That's
a little WWE reference
I know
from back
exactly
in
what
the
it is,
day.
yeah.
For those that may
Gorilla.
not know what's going on. Gorilla Monsoon always used to use these big words, and then Jesse Ventura had to dumb it down for everybody.
Did he say the esophagus?
Yeah.
I think Jesse
It's the throat monsoon.
They were the best. Like, who would you take? Would you take Bobby the Brain Heenan
And Vince McMahon.
and Vince McMahon?
Monsoon
or would you take
Ventura all day long.
Gorilla and Ventura? Yeah.
Yeah. Gorilla Monsoon. Also,
Or Heenan and Gorilla.
Heenan and Gorilla.
There we go.
That was a really good one. Gorilla Monsoon. You will never have a better name for a broadcaster.
Or wrestler. Shoot.
Or wrestler.
That is pretty good.
Because a monsoon is a monstrous natural event, and a gorilla is a natural monster of nature. Like, he's 2 monsters in one.
Oh my God! Just before we put a bow on hockey and get to the NBA, guys, how quickly before you think the Red Wings can compete on the ice in a game like that last night? I mean, Florida had a remarkable year, but they were gassed.
Yeah, they were out. Yeah,
in that series.
I think they're one player away from kicking ass.
Florida?
No, the Red Wings.
The Red Wings.
One Jack Eichel away, because Jack Eichel went to Vegas this year, and they gave up a lot for him to Buffalo, and he won a Stanley Cup in his first year there. One big star away.
I say 2, and we traded 1 already. Like, I say 2 players. I'm not right behind you, Maz, but I say 2 players, and we got rid of one of them. We sent to the Bruins. Tyler
Bertuzzi.
Yeah, I did like.
So that's what I think we need 2. I think we're 2 away.
I think they're in the playoffs next year, and you know what could happen as an 8 seed. You don't know. You just got to get hot at the right time.
Got to get a hot goalie at the right time, and they might have the right guy in between the pipes there for the wings.
Husso might be the guy.
Yeah, Husso. All right, guys, we are going to take a break, and when we come back, you're going to hear from Monty Williams. Monty says a lot of things. I will tell you the thing that I love to hear Monty Williams say more than anything. Also, this proves you just never know what's going on. We'll have that, but first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see this black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Stay out.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us. Hop on the YouTube chat. Slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
All of Detroit sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you watch it on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button for us. Let's see if we can get to over 50 likes by the end of this segment. Braylon Edwards, Monty Williams introduced as the next head coach of the Detroit Pistons. A really great press conference yesterday, I thought. And one of the things that struck out to me, among a few, but I think it's telling how connected these players are with one another. Each and every one of them, outside of Bojan Bogdanovic, who is not here,
right?
They showed up for this press conference. I thought that was telling.
That's because they want a job. Shoot, when you play for a team that doesn't have 20 wins, your ass better be there because everybody could potentially get cut. I'm just making light of it. I'm joking. You're absolutely correct, though. This team.
You're right.
True. I hate to come in
Both
and be
things can be true.
There you go.
Both things can be
Neil
true.
Rue. Shout out to Neil Rue. This team is definitely connected. You saw what Dwayne Casey did 2 years ago with the playoffs, the Boston Celtics. We talk about that team bonded then, whether it was Killian Hayes, those young guys, Cade Cunningham, and now here, Monty Williams. They're excited though, Ryan. They got a coach. Like when you're young, like you want names. Like when you're young, you want the name brand. Once you're older, you figure things out. I'm like, okay, well, I know this is the best quality of this. When you're younger, you're like, who's the best thing? And Monty Williams is one of those names, and you see his body of work. So these young guys, they explore their chance to get better. They explore the chance to have a coach that they've seen coach in the finals, that they've seen coach in the second round of the playoffs as recent as this year with the Phoenix Suns. They're excited. But what I took from that and watching it is you saw Monty. Monty still looks like he's fresh off the loss to the Denver Nuggets. He's fresh off of making the decision of am I going to coach? Am I not going to coach? And one of the things he talked about is he got fired. Having to deal with being fired, having to deal with that failure. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not calling him a failure. By no means is Monty Williams a failure. But when you get fired from something, when you get let go, when you get dismissed, your mind plays tricks on you. Your mind tells you, he starts the questioning phase, Ryan. Am I good enough? Am I good enough to be a coach in the NBA? Can I get over the hump and can I win the finals? Can I get back? Can I work with this young team? And I think the best thing for Monty Williams is to sign this year with the Detroit Pistons. It's going to be the best thing for him because a lot of times when you have time to just stew, and my dad and I talked about this, shout out to CP, my stepdad, we were at the house kind of talking about this earlier. When you have the time to stew, now he's dealing with his wife.
Idle time.
Exactly. Idle time is the devil's playground. Now you have dealing with his wife and dealing with all that. Now he's dealing with, damn, I got cut, or excuse me, I got released, I got fired. Am I good enough to coach in this league? All that goes through your mind. And if you're not doing anything, if you're not occupying anything, when you have failures, the fastest way to get over that is what, man? Have
Get a new
successes.
one. Yep.
Is have successes. So I think Monty Williams is going to coach with a passion that he may not have ever seen before. I think Monty Williams is going to be something for his family as well as our family, which is his as well, the Detroit Pistons. I think this could be something special.
To your point, Monty Williams, and I watched his press conference yesterday. It was great. One of the things he said is when trying to decide what to do with this job, his mentor, I forget his name, but he called him out as his mentor. He says, they might be just as good for you as you are for them. And Monty Williams talked about what it meant for his players to show up at this press conference yesterday. I want to play a clip of that.
But to these men over here, to have the whole team here outside of Boyan is amazing. It messed me up this morning in the meeting when I found out all you guys were here. You'll find out that I get emotional sometimes over good stuff like that. And I'm so grateful to all of you guys for being here. And I'm grateful to have dogs like you in the fight with me. And I hope you understand that.
I want to courtesy Anthony Colombo, our guy, Pistons Talk. We love Ant.
Yeah.
Great content from Anthony Colombo, Pistons Talk.
WWE guy too.
Absolutely. So again, what that meant to Monty Williams. One of the things that I also appreciate is his honesty.
Yeah.
Look, so many people will talk about this contract, and if he hits the incentives, can get to up to $100 million. Now, will he get there? We hope so.
Yeah.
We absolutely hope so. Otherwise, what are you doing?
It's true. Everybody wants to be like, hey, get mine.
But why come back and coach this year? Why not just collect a check from Phoenix, take care of your wife, who we'll get to her in a second, revealed she had breast cancer. We'll talk about that in just 1 second. But why come back and coach? And his answer, I love Monty Williams. I have the greatest respect for him now. He says, money. And anybody that says it's not about the money, they're lying to you. Because you could sit home, you could be there, you could sit close to your hometown or whatever. We all take this job because they pay us the money to do it. And there's no way he could turn down that contract to be the highest paid head coach ever in the history in the NBA or anywhere else.
With not one ring in sight.
So I appreciate Monty Williams for the honesty, and that tells me that his players will get honesty from him. He's not playing around. That's a culture that you set in that building from day one. We are honest here. That's what Dan Campbell does. That's what Brad Holmes does. They are honest with those players, and I think that is immeasurable, Tom Mazawey, when you have somebody, your leader, come in and do that.
There's no doubt. The guy he's a great person. And I remember when I think it was his first wife died in a car accident when he was with OKC. This guy's gone through some tragedies in his life, and he fights on. And he's with a bunch of young kids now. I think what's better for you than being with a bunch of young kids? Fresh faces.
Keeps you young.
Keeps you young. Watch it. That's why my kids, are everything to me. Your kids are everything to you. Mm-hmm. They look at me, they're like, oh, are those your grandkids? No, they're my kids. They're my kids. But they keep me young, at least young inside. And Monty Williams, I think this is really going to be, like Braylon said, I think this is going to be a great experience for him. And I think these kids are going to learn how to play some basketball, learn how to play some defense. He's bringing in coaches. He's got Steven Silas, one of the top assistants in the NBA. So not only do you have one of the top coaches in the NBA, you got one of the top assistants who used to coach as well as a head coach. And he was the son of the great Paul Silas. So basketball are in these guys' blood. And to see him yesterday, he's just a proud man. And you know what? I love this. I want to play this clip for you. He wants to be known as a Detroiter. Now, a lot of us, we think Dave Bing. We're like, oh, he's a Detroiter through and through. Mm-hmm. But he was not born here in Detroit.
Right.
So Monty Williams wants
I love this too, yeah.
Monty Williams wants to tell everyone, hey, I want you to look at me like you look at Dave Bing.
I want to, I think Troy feels the same way. In fact, I know he does. Like, I want to have success here to the point where people think I'm from Detroit, the way that they think Dave Bing is from Detroit, even though he's from D.C. I want to have that kind of impact here. And like I said, I marry myself to the job. And I told the players this morning I'm going to give them everything I have because it has been a franchise that has a rich history. And that's something that's important to me.
And there you have it. Monty Williams, the new head coach of the Detroit Pistons. Yes, the richest coach in basketball. And there was another guy that got paid here in the state of Michigan that broke the coach's barrier. His name, of course, is Mel Tucker. So I'll tell you, as far as Detroit, as far as sports goes in Michigan, we are on the forefront of paying our coaches well ahead of their time.
No doubt. And, of course, Dave Bing, born in D.C., went to Syracuse, made his home here in Detroit, eventually became the mayor of Detroit. And he's on the hand of all-time greatest Pistons.
Hall of Famer.
He is certainly on that list. And can Monty Williams be one of those men that leads the charge to be a Detroiter for life? I think so. And Braylon Edwards, just talking about Monty Williams and his want to be a Detroiter. He wants to be recognized as a Detroiter when it's all said and done. This is going to be his home. Yeah. He has this is a destination now. There is no other job for him. This is the destination.
If I'm being honest, once we didn't get the number 1 pick, once we knew we weren't getting Wembanyama, generational talent, or once we knew we weren't getting 2 or 3, I kind of tuned out. Even when they picked up Monty Williams, I was like, it's a cash grab. Understandably so. I was kind of done with the Pistons, but then watching that press conference, kind of seeing that and kind of thinking about it from those standpoints, like Monty Williams was very honest with that team. That you hit the nail on the head, right? And that team needs honesty right now. They're young guys, they're impressive guys. A lot of those guys are in fluctuation periods, whether it's Beef Stew. Is Beef Stew a guy that is going to play here? Is he going to have success here? Killian Hayes, we've been talking about him. Is he going to develop that shot? Is he going to be a guy that you count on? A lot of guys kind of floating and just dangling. And Monty himself is a guy that's coming off success, but not closing deals, is dangling. They are perfect for each other. Him wanting to be a Detroiter. That's what you're starting to see, man. Guys come here, like Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah doesn't live anymore. Right. But when you talk to Isaiah Thomas, you understand where he's from, Chicago and Detroit. When you talk to D-Mac, where's D-Mac from?
Detroit.
Exactly. And I think that is catching on again. What the Lions have built, Brad Holmes, who I had a chance to talk to on Monday. We'll talk about that. Dan Campbell. Eiserman's back home. Stevie Eiserman's home is Detroit. I think Monty Williams wants to follow in those footsteps of great coaches or players that call this home that aren't from here, and he has every right to be here. This is a place that people love to call home. This is Detroit, man.
I was going to say, speaking of calls and speaking of home, he got a couple of calls from some former Pistons and some Detroiters who congratulated him. Take a listen to what Monty Williams had to say about Derek Coleman. Then I want to ask you a question about this.
And Chauncey.
And Chauncey.
Sounds good.
I got a text call from Derek Coleman, and I'm just glad DC likes me, because when you get a text from DC, you're not quite sure, He was excited. Across the board, like different players historically who've played here, Chauncey was one of the first text messages I got. That meant a lot. So that should tell you about the players that have been here, what they feel about this team.
Braylon, I want to ask you about that, because I think it was funny, and it's great that Chauncey Billups, reached out to Monty Williams. Obviously, Mr. Big Shot, one of the great Pistons of all time, and Derek Coleman. For Monty Williams to be there, man, he saw the phone ring, and it's Derek Coleman. And anytime DC calls you, you just never know.
Yeah,
I mean, do you have any great Derek Coleman stories?
So Elysium nightclub.
Oh, I remember the Elysium.
Hey, you remember Elysium? Elysium was a beautiful venue, man. Ivid, I think, owned it. DJ Tom T, I know he's listening. He's DJ'd there many times. That was the spot. Probably circa day 2004 to about 2012. Very long run for nightclubs. Nightclubs don't last past 2 years. Very long run. I got a call. I used to go out there. We used to hang out Friday nights were the nights. You hang out on Fridays, you get it in, you go to Plaka Cafe.
Oh yeah,
have a little food, sober up for the drive home. DC called me one day, and Monty's absolutely right. When you get a call from DC, certain times you can send people to voicemail. Certain times you can send somebody a text, "I'll hit you later." Sometimes you just got to pick up regardless. I pick it up. He said, "Hey man, what's this I hear about you getting in trouble at the club?" I'm like, "I ain't getting no trouble. That's because my guys were there. They had your back."
Everywhere.
He said, "B, I don't want to hear about this again." I was like, it was like, yes, sir. Like, DC is a legend in Detroit. DC is a legend in the NBA. DC is a legend in college. Like Syracuse, people still talk about Derek Coleman. Derek Coleman was one of the first power forwards that was like that. Like, I'm talking about could run, could dribble, create his own shot, back you down. He dunked on Shaq. Shaq admits to being dunked on 3 times. Derek Coleman was one of those people, but Derek is a staple in the city, and when he says something about you, damn it better be good, because if it's bad, you're in trouble.
I just love that. Again, I wanted
DC
to thank,
is Detroit.
Again, I wanted to thank our good friend Anthony Colombo.
Absolutely.
Love Pistons Talk. You can follow him on Twitter as well at Pistons_talk, providing.
I got a good Chauncey story.
I want to hear it. Providing those videos on social media, though, very, very great. And I love Anthony Colombo, and I just wanted to say, shout out to you.
Amen. He's a good bowler, too.
Absolutely. Chauncey story.
Chauncey is one of my biggest influences, biggest mentors in terms of a pro mentor in a college kid. I used to go to him and Stack. You heard the story about me and Stack outside. I messed his grass up. Chauncey, when Stack left, kind of became next big brother with Jerome Bettis. And he had the silver Continental Bentley. In 2004, that playoff run, he had a silver one. And when they beat the Lakers, he had a silver one. I just remember seeing it, like walking to this car with him after a game. I'm like, I got to get one of these one day. He said, don't worry about it, player. You on your way, number one. Well, he came to my he came to my draft party, and he walked in with Rip around the same time as I was pulling up. I pulled up in the 2005 Mulliner Bentley GT Edition. He was like, okay, I see you got the same one I did. I said, no, big bro. This is the new model. You got the old model.
Oh, man.
I had to give him some stuff by me. Hey, he's got the ring, I don't. But
man, I
little
love
Chauncey
that.
story.
You know who love their cars
Chauncey
from the
too.
Pistons? I got good info on this. Nobody loved their cars more than Ben Wallace.
Oh, yeah.
Ben Wallace, from what I understand, his wife didn't like all this extravagant cars he was buying. He would give them to his friends to hold. He would be hiding cars everywhere he could hide a car. But all he loved were these big. He just loved his automobiles, man.
But the good thing about that, for his sake, cars. I know they say they depreciate, but when you have money like that and you buy like that and it's less miles like that and you can hold on to a vehicle for a while, a lot of guys get into partying. A lot of guys get into partying. A lot of guys get into traveling. A lot of guys get into jewelry. A lot of guys get into women. A lot of guys get into other things. It's the women's, man. Gerard Warren. But a lot of guys get into other things that is the downfall of their careers. To get into cars, like Ben was a regular guy. He came to work in Pistons gear. You know what time it was him. He came to work and he chilled in the off season. Those cars add up, man. So I'm sure at this point now she's probably looking back like, I'm glad my husband was the way he was, because he could have been in a lot of other things. Hiding exotic cars that will appreciate to about $6.2 million.
I think there's a few here in Detroit still.
Oh, hell yeah. There are garages all over Auburn Hills.
No doubt. Hey, guys, I want to get into this aspect of Monty Williams as well that I think is so important, and it involves a family member and what it should signal to us, even though it will not.
Yeah.
I guarantee you it will have no impact on how media handles their business, but it should. And I'll tell you what that is coming up next. But first, a message from Randy Wise.
Randy Wise. How would you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Darren McCarty, and Braylon Edwards play golf with average Joes? Well, thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you'll be able to do just that. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make sure you make the wise choice. Get to a Randy Wise dealership as soon as possible and pay attention right here to Woodward Sports so you can find out how to play golf like a celebrity.
Can't get enough enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Woodward Sports Network, everybody watching on YouTube, we appreciate it. Thanks for hitting that like button. Let's see if we get to over 75 likes by the end of this segment. Bray, I wanted to, and Maz, I wanted to hit on this with you because I think it's pretty important.
What, Flag Day?
Flag Day as well, yes. Yes,
Flag Day is not recognized as much as it should be.
I know it's in my calendar, by the way. Like it's in my calendar.
If you want to see if a holiday is big enough, all you gotta do is check your local bank. If your bank is open, that holiday ain't that big.
Good point.
If your bank is open,
is it open today?
Banks are open. Today.
Banks are open. I went to the bank today.
Banks are open today.
Physically walked in the branch. I wanted to address this with you because I took something from this.
Okay.
Yesterday, Monty Williams revealed that his wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, and it was early detection, and prognosis is really, really, really good. But she's got to go through the process now. And he just used his platform as a time to talk about early detection and get checked. But among the things that he was talking about was that delay. And there was like, what was it, a 6 to 8 week delay, and then I think he was fired. There was like a good month of time from the time he was fired to the time where he was hired. And there's the negotiation periods. Oh, Monty Williams doesn't want to take your money. The Pistons suck. Monty Williams ain't coming to coach here. Oh, Monty Williams is up for the Milwaukee job. He's not coaching there. Oh, Monty's just going to sit there and take Phoenix's money. Monty Williams was dealing with his wife having breast cancer. None of it was true. Like, Monty Williams was not even concerned with really taking meetings or worrying about who he was going to coach next. Ultimately,
if he was going to coach next.
Ultimately, it did work out that way because, like he said, he didn't even know it was a possibility that the Pistons were still involved. Remember when the report came out that...
Give me all you got.
What's that?
So much use of water.
Remember when that report came out that the Pistons made a run at Monty Williams and it's not successful?
Yeah, I remember that.
That wasn't because he said no. That was because...
he was busy.
He was busy with his wife, taking care of her because she had a health scare. She had breast cancer. And it's a good lesson. We do what we do. We go with the best information we have at the time. That information changes. That information evolves. Ultimately, nobody's trying to get it wrong. Ultimately, nobody's trying to make stuff up. We do take the best information we have and make our own assumptions. That's what this business has been predicated on for decades. However, it just goes to show you really how much we don't know and really what goes on in somebody's life. And I know I'm talking long.
No,
I'll
you're good.
give you the floor in 1 second.
No, you're good, brother.
So there's a situation in Buffalo right now. Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is not at the mandatory minicamp.
He's back today.
He is back today. He is back today. But there was
He was there, but he wasn't.
It was a big story that he was there. He wasn't. He said it's not an injury, or they said it's not an injury, and it's not a contract situation. So what is it? You know, and you're just left to speculate. And at the end of the day, his kid could have gotten a detention at school or an injury in sports. Wait, or his kid has a birth. You have no idea what individuals are going through. Yet, you know, it's our job, and I think it's one of the down parts of this job is to sit here and talk about people, most of which we have no idea what's happening.
You're very true. I mean, a lot of the Monty Williams situation, a lot of our speculation was true, because if we didn't break the bank, I don't know if Monty would be our coach. But you're absolutely right. You don't know what's going on in someone's life. You don't know about Monty's wife getting diagnosed with cancer. You don't know what Stephon Diggs is going through. But Ryan, I might have a guess of what's going on up there in Buffalo, because he did come to mandatory training camp. He was there.
Mandatory camp.
He actually walked into the facility early. He walked out of the facility before it started, went back to the hotel, stayed at the hotel, and now they're trying to figure out what's going on. He was there. If you remember last year, the incident on the sideline, and it looked like Stephon Diggs was yelling at Josh Allen, going off on Josh Allen. And everybody's like, how could he go off on poor Josh Allen? Josh Allen is such a nice guy, and if it wasn't for Josh Allen, he wouldn't have got paid and they wouldn't be here. Sometimes everything isn't as it seems. I got into a situation in 2006 with Charlie Fry on the sideline. Sideline was like me and Charlie.
And a McDonald's commercial?
Yeah. No. I already got a Fry.
Oh, okay.
You gonna bring that up? That's funny. That's on YouTube, by the way.
We played it for you.
Oh, that's right. You guys did play. You such jerks. But it was a situation on the sideline. It looked like me and Charlie Fry getting into an altercation. In that game, the line gave up 9 sacks. 9 sacks. Charlie Fry was in the dirt. Not 9 times, probably 18 times, but 9 of those were resort of actual sacks. So in that moment, I'm yelling at the linemen because they're over there talking about some damn game. Remember the PSP, the portable PlayStation? So they used to be locked into this Warzone game. I can't remember what it was at the time. They gave up 9 sacks, maybe 18 quarterback hits, and they're talking about a video game. They're talking about a PSP. So I think we're playing the Bengals. So anyway, I'm like turning Charlie's jersey around, and it looks like I'm trying to turn Charlie Fry around to yell at him. I'm really turning Charlie Fry around because you can't even see the whiteness of Fry and 9 on his jersey. All you see is green and brown because that's what it was. But it looks like I yelled at Charlie Fry, and I look back, it does. What if he's talking to Josh Allen about how bad the play calling is? What if he's talking to Josh Allen about how bad it is and asking? Like when you yell sometimes, if all you see is the back of someone, and I'm not making excuses.
Yeah, it looks.
Maybe this ain't what happened.
Right.
So maybe he's talking about how boo-boo the play calling was. Now that Brian Daboll is gone, how boo-boo Ken Dorsey is. Are we going to take this? What are we going to do next year? Blah, blah, blah. Comes into the facility. 6 months later? They get beat in January. Comes to the facility 5-6 months later. Playbook exactly the same. Same freaking offense. Same things. I thought we were going to change this. This is what got our ass beat at home by the Cincinnati Bengals. The same effing plays. Man, I'm out of here. I think something's going on, and it has nothing to do with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. It has nothing to do with Sean McDermott and Stephon Diggs. I think it has everything to do with Ken Dorsey and Stephon Diggs and maybe the offensive playbook. Now, is he going about it the right way by not being there day one? It's freaking day one. Who cares? It's day one. This isn't training camp. It's day one. But I think it's not Josh Allen. It's not the relationship with the offense. It's not Sean McDermott. That's his guy. I believe it's something to do with Ken Dorsey and that offense. And tell us, we watched it. That offense was bad last year. That offense was bad.
He used the word cap as well in his statement. You guys can cap all you want,
which means lie, as Maz and I figured out last week. Cap or no cap, man.
Are we doing that today?
Friday. Cap or no cap, farewell.
Cap or no cap.
I bet you Ryan screws it up worse than me.
I will say, too.
He might know it better than all of us.
The situation with you and Charlie Fry, I recall that. I remember that now. But now the story is like, You're trying to turn. Look at this mother. You know what?
Yeah,
with the dirt on his jersey like that. Well, look at this. You know,
pull it up. Like,
so it looks bad, but you don't have the benefit of hearing that. I do want to one of our great listeners, Jenna Newman, wrote in the WoodwardSports.com chat. My mom found out the same news within the last few weeks. She goes in for surgery on the 26th. Stage 1, found it early, waiting back for genetic testing to see if it could pass on to her. We want to tell Jenna Newman and her mom and her entire family that we will pray for you. You will keep you in our thoughts and your mom in our thoughts, and hopefully we get positive energy that we send your way.
Amen.
To you, and we thank you for your support here at Woodward Sports, and we are sending that support.
She's an original.
Right back to you.
Definitely send Jenna Newman some love. She's an original, like Matt said. She DMs all the time, says, I love this take, I love the show, I love Woodward Sports, so definitely want to send her love. Ryan, you ready for what I teased during the break?
Is it cap or no cap? I love this cap or no cap.
That's on Friday.
Okay, can we? I just love cap. Okay, yes, I am ready for it. I was gonna say no cap.
No cap. So I put a bet in. I think I put 3 little cheap bets in on Monday night.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
3 little cheap bets Monday night. I was over there. I was at my sister's house. Was with the baby.
You weren't on NFL team property, were you?
No. I was nowhere near Island Park.
Okay.
I was nowhere near Island Park. So the bet should be good. But then again, I don't know if I'm allowed to bet in between certain hours.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
because you're a former NFL player.
Former NFL
come
player.
at
So
you.
yeah, exactly. And it's a 248 area code.
Exactly.
It might coincide.
Yeah.
No, but put 3 bets in. 2 bets on the finals. The Nuggets, the Heat. And then I put 1 random bet in for $11, okay? And on this bet, as you can see now, put up there, I took I gotta skip over. I took 2 tennis matches. Then I took the Angels over the Texans plus 145, as you can see. Took Reds over Royals minus 105. Obviously Nuggets over Heat minus 350. I took the Mariners over the Miami Marlins minus 115.
Just give me the winners.
All of them.
Angels, Reds, Nuggets, Mariners, Athletics, Diamondbacks. Athletics you took. Mariners, there's 2 there. Okay.
Okay. So, and then on the other one, it was the tennis match was Victoria Tomova and Madison Bringle of the USA.
Oh, man.
So.
Big mistake.
So, all the baseball ones obviously went, but I made the bet and happened to click in there randomly. Woke up to use the bathroom. So let me see what's going on with my bet. Cashed out on accident. When I tell you, all the $0.59. Will you cash out, or will you try to see if those 2 tennis matches work in your favor to the tune of $100,469.29? What do you do, Ryan?
I cash out.
$464 versus $100,000.
No, you got to keep it going.
Yeah, thank you. See, thank you. That's what Monty Williams was saying.
Yep, you got to keep it going. By the way, we have no audio anymore, and people are pissed.
There's no audio?
No audio, but first message from Fairway Packing Company.
Oh my God. Is it back?
Okay.
Is the audio
Look at that.
back?
Oh, yeah, no.
So now I got to tell the story over. No, just
Start
ask.
your order. Fairway Packing. We're going to be out there. We will be at Fairway Packing this Friday. We want you to come. We'd love to see you guys be at Fairway Packing, the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods this Friday. You get to see 2 shows. Big D Energy, 11 to 1. Our show, 2 to 4. D-Mac, Braylon Edwards will all be out there. And it's a great time. Pick up a gift for Dad. You know, so many times people get booze for whatever.
Get this meat.
Get this meat. I'm telling. I got another. I went there last night.
It's gonna be good.
I got some Wagyu last night. Are you freaking kidding me?
Last night?
Last night I went for pork chops.
But we're going Friday.
I know, and I'm gonna get another one.
I ain't mad at it. I would
And
too.
tonight I'm gonna get those pork chops.
Maybe I'll take my cash out.
Oh man, yeah, take your cash out, and then of course, Bray. You can keep that in your refrigerator for like 4 weeks because they're vacuum packed, and then you know you can freeze them after that. But man, load up at Fairway Packing Company. Visit fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com. Sourced, cut, aged, packed
to perfection.
To perfection.
To perfection.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
WoodwardSports.com. We put the chat poll up. Would you have cashed out on Braylon's bet?
I already voted.
Yeah, it's literally it was
yes or no?
$11 to win $100,000, and then when I turned it on, it literally said I hit the button too soon. Like I was like, boop, cashed out. But it was $464 cash out on an $11 bet. So would you cash out?
And he would have lost, by the way.
I would have lost.
So yeah, I mean, for that kind of money, I probably would have
Stayed in the game.
Stayed in, but
here's a good question though. By it only being $11
and some dollars, that's a lot of money.
Hell yeah, it's $11 buy-in though, and you look at it. Maybe do you watch kind of the first set of the first tennis match to see if your odds go up, and then maybe cash out like that? Do you at least give the 10? Because that's how I was thinking. Maybe I should, because I think one tennis match started at 10:30 a.m. The other started at 1:20 p.m. So it was like, what if you watch the first couple of sets to see if your bet goes up? That's what I would have liked to do.
So, Braylon, again, just to catch you up, and again, hour number 2 of the program, unless you are just, we did not have audio. We're having some audio problems. We're hoping to fix it ASAP. But Braylon had a parlay, big parlay, $11 to win 100-some grand.
Yeah.
And he hit the first, 9 of these plays and had 2 more left or something like that. First 8 and had 2 outstanding. So he elected to take the cash out on accident instead of playing and trying to get the other 2 winners, which both of them ultimately lost.
Both of them lost.
So very good there. Hey, hour number 2 of the program. Hit that like button for us. Let's see if we can get to over 100 likes by the end of this segment. That would be awesome. It helps YouTube push our content out to more people. Tom Mazawey, let's go around the NFL.
You got it, my man. This struck me very funny, and it'll strike everyone in the chat is going to love this take, by the way, by Justin Jones, who is now the defensive tackle for the Chicago Bears, former 3rd-round pick out of North Carolina State by the Chargers. So he gets a big deal to go to the Bears. He hates the Packers for some reason. I don't know why exactly he hates them, and he hates their fans as well.
Well, he does play for the Bears.
I know. This is his first year.
Well, still.
Justin Jones, why do you hate the Packers?
How different is it going to be now that Aaron Rodgers is somewhere else?
I wish he played one more year with Green Bay, honestly. We went up there and we played a pretty good game, but they got away from us at the end, obviously, and they won, but their fans are really shitty. So Yeah, I wanted to go back up there, and I wanted to play him, and I wanted to beat them, and I wanted him to be there so you can see it. But the fact that he's gone now, I mean, it's cool. I guess it's better for him not to be here, But yeah, man, I'm ready to take it over. I mean, it's a good time to be a Bears fan. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So
This is a follow-up question I never thought I'd ask. In which ways are they shitty?
Man, like just the way that they're just freaking obnoxious, just yelling and all that other stuff about things that don't even matter. Like we're not even running the play, and you guys are talking about boo, oh yeah, go Green. Like what are we even talking? The game hasn't even started yet. Like what are we even talking about here? Like y'all. Half of them don't even know football. It's so weird to me. But I'm just ready to go back out there and play, and I want to go out there and I want to beat the hell out of them, on their field, and I want to hear the boos then. That's what I look forward to. So.
There you go, guys. Chicago Bears, Justin Jones. He hates the Packers just like you. But you hate the Bears.
I mean, it's easy. Like some people just hate certain things, certain teams. Like when I was growing up, like it was something about the Buffalo Bills that I hated. Like I did not like the Buffalo Bills. I didn't like Marv Levy, Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas. I was like, that's why Barry Sanders was your replacement anyway at Oklahoma State. I just didn't like the Buffalo Bills. But I think it's different for him, Maz. I think what it is, he got drafted or he became a member of the Bears on the heels of Aaron Rodgers with his disrespect to the Bears at Soldier Field. When the lady gave him the middle finger, he gave her something right back, a little discount double check. I still own you, MFers, and blah, blah, blah. He's already somebody that you don't like. So now you look at it from a standpoint, well, back when he was in Green Bay, I think Aaron Rodgers is turning the corner in New York. I think people actually like him now, but people didn't like Aaron Rodgers, and you don't like the Green Bay Packers because it's associated with Aaron Rodgers. So I think that situation has something to do with it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, here's another one for you. Let's bring it back to gambling in the NFL. Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk. Yes, Mike Florio. He has put out an article that says there's an NFL player, unnamed, that's lost over $8 million on gambling just last season.
So, a couple of things about this.
That's easy. Go ahead.
A couple of things about this. One, what does that mean?
You got to look at price ranges. You got to I'm trying to figure out who this is.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of, what does it mean? Because
I love how we're thinking two different things.
I look at Michael Jordan, right? Who's a billionaire.
Yeah.
I remember Michael Jordan's son lost, this is over a decade ago. Michael Jordan's son lost like $30,000 in 5 minutes at the casino.
In Vegas, I remember that.
Yep, remember that?
I remember that because he posted a picture of the bar tab.
Yeah, people were freaking out about it. Oh, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, this, that, and the other thing. And at the end of the day, Michael Jordan's kid losing $30,000 in 5 minutes is equivalent to me losing $20 at the roulette table in 5 minutes.
I don't know about 20.
20. When you're a billionaire,
$30,000.
When you're a billionaire,
like
$30,000 is chump change.
It's chump change.
It's just, it's what you have in your wallet at the time.
Yeah, I guess so.
So it was not a big deal. Everything's relative.
Could have bought my Equinox though.
Could have
bought.
What I'm trying to say is, was this on sports gambling? Was this on casino gambling? Does he like to sit at the tables? Is he Allen Iverson? Because you could have had this conversation about Allen Iverson, who was living at MGM when he was here with the Pistons.
Even during the Fiverson plan?
The Fiverson.
That was what the Pistons put out. As soon as they got Allen Iverson, they got 5 games for whatever, the Fiverson plan.
I remember that, but here's what I said. But here's what I say with that. I disagree with the chump change aspect because this is the NFL. Not everybody is getting.
I agree.
Not everybody is getting a Patrick Mahomes deal where they're safe like that. Never everybody's getting Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams money where they're making $30 million a year, and that's actually before taxes, ladies and gentlemen. So if you do the math on that, that's somewhere around 18 mil, maybe 17 and 6, give or take. $8 million is a lot because it ain't a ton of guys getting it like that.
That's a lot of money, man.
That's a problem. Somebody losing $8 million in an NFL season, that's a problem. One, it tells me someone's not married. It's telling me somebody's single, somebody's in a party city, somebody that's one of the bigger players in the league. Because if you can lose $8 million, I mean you at least have some cheese in the bank. You've accumulated some cheese and you're expecting some cheese. That's a problem. I would love to know who that person was.
Love to know who it is.
Yeah, that's an issue.
And Florio should spill the beans. on who that is.
Florio's smart because if it's one of those people, you don't want to be on one of those people's bad side.
It's coming out. Don't worry, because there's a lot of players that are gambling, and we're going to know about them pretty soon. Because this ain't done yet.
You see what Calvin Ridley said?
Yeah.
Just stay away from it.
Stay away.
He's like, just stay away from it. There's
not
no
worth
point. Yeah, it's just not.
He said people are calling him. Players are calling him. He's like, I think the NFL basically said, hey, look, we need you to be almost our spokesperson here. We let you back in the NFL.
I tell the NFL to go bleat themselves.
Well, maybe I'm wrong, but I think it looks that way.
No, I understand that. But I would tell the NFL, you took my livelihood away from me. You know I didn't know what was going on. You know,
don't piss the machine off.
You know, I know.
You're
right.
It's the mob. It's one of those situations where if one of the bosses do some BS, ain't nothing you can do about it.
Turn around, let them slap you with the paddle, and say, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?"
It sucks. Sometimes you put, and even if it's not your fault,
that's a fraternity guy thing, by the way. If you
or
Animal
if you play sports, if you play sports, the holes in it. Oh my God!
Thank you, sir.
The air gets through those.
Oh, it's Phi Beta Sigma, Blue Phi.
Oh, Blue Phi.
I know. You know.
Psi Oops Lon, Psi Oops, I rushed the wrong fraternity.
But with that's a deal, man. NFL, if it was $1 million, okay, $1 million would still be a lot. If you're talking about $1 million for Von Miller, like somebody that's been playing for a while, Von Miller's got cheese in the bank. He got chips. He has an organic farm because I think he majored in agriculture at Texas A&M. He has a lot of cheese in the bank. All right. If it's Von Miller, he's losing $1 million. So what? But at the same time, I got my eye open.
You know what that also tells me?
I got one eye open. That's $8 million?
You know what that also tells me, Bray?
He's bored.
That's an injured player.
Oh.
That's an injured player. That's idle time. When you're in the, you tell me.
If you told me Antonio Brown, I'd be like, there you go, ding, ding, ding. But he's not in the league.
You tell me.
I don't think he has 8 million.
Hell yeah.
But you tell me you got that kind of time to pour over gambling when you're in the league, learning game plans and in meeting rooms and all that stuff.
It's funny you say that. I remember going into training camp in 2009, I'm with the Cleveland Browns, and we used to run gassers at the end of practice. The wide receivers, sometimes the quarterbacks join us, sometimes the DBs join us. But we go, gassers are over and backs, man. Over and back to football field, not the 100, the 50. So we go over and back. And Dante Stallworth, I had on socks. We always take our cleats off because 2 days add up. Feet hurt at the end of practice. Take your shoes off. Dante went to jump on me like in a playful manner, and his cleat like slid down my leg, and it clipped open my ankle. I still got the scar, and it went down to where you could see the Achilles tendon.
Oh no!
So they had to take me to the hospital. They had to clean it up, suture it up, and because Cleveland had a huge outbreak of staph. You remember that? Joe Jurevicius, myself, Kellen Winslow.
Tampa Bay, too.
He went to Tampa, too. Charles Bentley, a lot of guys got it. So they were so worried about staph that they sent me home in training camp. I didn't have a training camp. I literally and this is during the Olympics in 2008. That's why I say you're right, Ryan. I go home. I would come in the morning, maybe 6 a.m. before anybody got there. They would clean my bandages, suture it, clean it up, put it back on, and I go back to the house. The Olympics were going on. All I would do, Ryan, and maybe I'm giving up too info, but all I would do was just sit around, do nothing. As soon as noon hits, drink some wine and watch the Olympics. This was Usain Bolt's first Olympics. This is Mike Phelps' second Olympics. I just think about, I had nothing to do but sit here, play video games, and watch the Olympics and drink some type of cheap ass.
What kind of place did you have back then?
It's Ohio, so just nice enough.
Probably had a nice condo.
Nice enough.
So I can see a player that's injured.
Idle
you have
time.
Nothing but time, especially if you can't work out and move. So yeah, I see it.
Guys, we're gonna continue NFL conversations. Where's Dalvin Cook going? Where does he want to go?
I know the player might be. I think I said his name.
Oh, well,
Von Miller was hurt all last year.
Oh man, look at that! But first, the message. Well, we're not calling. We're not reporting.
No. That's we're not saying.
He's only hurt from Thanksgiving on.
Yeah.
No, Von Miller got in preseason.
Did he?
The first game of the year against the Rams.
Oh, okay.
Hey guys, let me tell you about Outdoor Equipment Company.
How about you do that?
How about I do that? Outdoor Equipment Company. We love our friends at Outdoor Equipment Company. Your childhood may be over, but playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment. Great for Dad's Day as well. Sales, service, parts, carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and more. Servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit OutdoorEquipCo.com. There it is right there above me. OutdoorEquipCo.com. Your
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Join me as well. This is what we talked about earlier in the year. You want exciting moments. Hell, if you're gonna go down swinging. Go down scoring some points, putting some points on the board, putting some bats on some balls, man. So, yeah, if they lose, oh well. They 3 home runs, they scored 5. What's the team to do? What's the team to do? Man,
at least they play hard.
That's all you really want to see. Like, even with
they're playing a good team. They're playing your childhood team.
Hey man, you know the
Atlanta
Braves. You know how I
Braves.
feel about the Braves. 2 years ago, world champion, or a year ago, excuse me, world champs. Maz, it's that favorite time, man. Let's stick with the NFL.
Yeah, the guy that we all were wondering, what the hell is Minnesota doing by cutting loose Dalvin Cook? Well, Dalvin Cook is looking for a team, but he wants the right situation for a team. I don't know what that situation is, but that's what Dalvin Cook's looking for, Bray.
Dalvin Cook's old school. He's not an old school, but he's one of the first kind of hybrid running backs where you're throwing the ball to him, but he's also running for 1,600 yards. Dalvin Cook wants to run for 1,600 yards. Dalvin Cook wants to run for 1,450. He wants to be utilized. He wants to be valued. Kevin O'Connell came in there. I played with Kevin O'Connell with the New York Jets. Kevin O'Connell came in there. He kind of brought that Sean McVay, what won them the championship last 2 years ago. He bought last year with Andy Reid, what they were able to do with no running back. They didn't necessarily value Dalvin Cook like that. He wasn't injured. Like, you're talking about a guy in that comeback game at the Indianapolis Colts. He's a large part of that. I mean, hell, he had the 80-yard touchdown to tie it up and take it to overtime. But they, I think, want to go cheaper and not use their running backs as much. Madison is the guy that they're going to start now over Dalvin Cook. He'll find a situation. We probably won't know what his market to be for maybe closer to training camp. And he said it. He said, I'm not in a rush to sign anywhere. He's made a lot of good money. He's cool. He's healthy. And he's relaxed. The market to hit, I think Miami Dolphins will be where he's going. He's from Florida, played at Florida State. They have some guys, but they ain't got a Dalvin Cook, and I use aim for effect.
I tell you, he said he's looking for he's not looking for a cheap contract. He wants to be paid.
He should be.
He just got drafted in 2017. 2017, that's what, 6 years ago. I mean, life shelf. He's got 3 good years in him. I mean, if he gets somewhere, he can get.
I agree.
3 years, 27 million. I'm in the conversation as an owner.
We were talking about that the other day, Bray, when it came to Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, I'm not looking to be the highest paid player. I'm not looking to be the highest paid running back, but I'm certainly not looking to be the lowest either. Somewhere in the middle that reflects my value to the team itself. Don't look at me as every running back in the league. Look at me as what I do for this team. Different players mean different things to different teams.
They do, and it's sad. Like Odell Beckham was that player for the Giants that, hey, he said, look, this is the value that I bring to Eli. Y'all don't do anything on the other side. You throw all the passes to me. I am Mr. New York. I am Mr. One Catch. So they had to pay him. Then he gets injured. I think something like that stays with the Mara family. That stays with the ownership. It's like, hell, remember what we did with Odell? Remember what we did with Victor Cruz? Remember what we did with oh my God, what was the DN out of Miami that they paid that came up there? He went to the University of Miami. He played for the Dolphins. Then he got up to New York. It didn't work out. We're tired of getting spurned by guys getting injured. On the flip side of that, and this is the side that I support, this is the side that I'm on, Saquon Barkley is the heart and soul of that offense. If you take Saquon off that offense, if you take him off the field and try to come on with some running back that was drafted in the 6th or some running back that's the second running back somewhere else looking to be a 1, they're not going to be the same team. Daniel Jones was okay last year. He didn't turn the ball over, but he still only had 15 touchdowns. They're still trying to figure out offense. Saquon Barkley is that offense. No playoffs for them last year. No playoff win. They won against the Vikings. No playoff win if you don't have Saquon Barkley as your running back. So you got to pay that man what he wants, because you say this all the time, Ryan. It's what the market demands,
That's
and
right.
the market demands a lot in New York for Saquon.
All right, here's a question for you guys.
Are you
I was going to switch off. Go ahead, but you want to talk
just
about
one thought on that?
Yeah.
These running backs.
Yeah.
If you just look at the guys that just come to mind right now.
Christian McCaffrey.
Well, Christian McCaffrey, second contract, gets traded. Ezekiel Elliott, second contract, gets cut. Dalvin Cook signs a second contract, gets cut.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook signed a 5-year, $60+ million extension last year.
You know what also, Ryan, to piggyback on that, you're absolutely correct.
These guys don't make it through their second contract.
But you know what happens with that, Ryan? And it's not necessarily the fault of the running back. What's happening in football, how long, how many teams now have coaches that's been coaching 10 years? 11 years for the same franchise. 8 years, 6 years for the same franchise. How often do you see the same people that drafted Christian McCaffrey?
Yep.
They're no longer there in Carolina, so it didn't matter how good he was, because last time I checked, he went 9-0 in San Francisco before eventually losing, and he was damn good when he could stay on the field. Dalvin Cook was healthy last year, but they didn't want to use him. Oh, by the way, it's a new head coach. It's a new system, new ideals. I think a lot of times with running backs, you get screwed, man, because you get drafted by one, and then by your 3rd year, your 4th year, you got a new coach, and most coaches do not value the running back. So if you're coming into a team with one of those running backs, that running back's probably as good as gone.
All right, here's one for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this out there. Before you put the tweet up, Parker, I'm going to ask you guys all around the room. The AFC West, there's 4 teams in the AFC West. Which team, I want you to put them in order of championships in the AFC West. How many has each team won?
I saw it, so I know.
Okay.
Say it again.
How many? The AFC West has 4 teams.
Yeah.
Who's the leader? Who has won the most AFC West
That's
championships?
easy. The Raiders.
You think it's the Raiders?
Hold on, let's see. Raiders.
I want you to put them in order.
Raiders, Chargers, Denver, and then Chiefs. Chiefs have 3, and Raiders have 1, 2, 3. I think they have 3.
Well, it's more than that. It's over the years.
The Raiders have 5.
It's more than that. I'll just put it
Help
up for
him
you.
out here, because it's a hard question.
It's a hard
It's
question.
not a hard question. Who has the most? I said the Raiders have the most,
Okay.
followed by Denver, followed by the Chiefs, and then the Chargers.
Guess what?
Unless you're go ahead.
It's a tie. Put it up.
So
Do
here,
you believe
Is it
this?
3-3-3?
no, it's 15. Like, this is
Oh,
over the course
I'm saying
of the
Super Bowls. When I said 3, why didn't you correct me and say he's talking about division
Well,
champions?
because I wasn't sure about if you thought just AFC West specific division championships.
You guys hear me saying 3? The Raiders have 5.
No, I said all time.
I know, but once you heard how low the number was,
Yeah.
I'm
My
like, once
bad.
you heard how low the number was,
My bad.
I should have known.
you guys stink.
But we're
My bad.
Lions fans, so we don't
Hey,
know anything about
Lions
how
fans.
many
Lions fans.
division championships. The 15 apiece.
Thank you.
So who gets the 16 first is the
Well,
question.
again, this is why I had my Kansas City Chiefs on my confidence meter, not 1 or 2. These are good franchises.
I know, but the Chiefs are the best of that bunch now.
Yes, but
I'm not worried about the Chiefs.
No, you ain't worried about
I
it.
ain't worried. I ain't scared.
You ain't scared.
I got something for you, Bray. Can I make it up to you?
Please, brother.
All right, let me take you back to 2006.
Oh my God!
And this is punk wide receiver on the sideline because that's what the announcers are calling him.
Yeah.
He's attacking his quarterback. Look at this.
This is really where it's fun for an offense because there's really no pressure, and now you can just kind of pin your ears back and have some fun and see them communicating on the sideline, see the frustration from Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards has been running with his mouth over the last week, too, criticizing the plays and criticizing one of his own teammates on a hit.
See, this is the thing I'm talking about. But this is what I'm talking about. See, right now, I'm trying to show Charlie's jersey. Ruben grabs me because Ruben's like, Braylon's like, just calm down. I get it. I was not trying to dog Charlie Fry. I'm not yelling at Charlie Fry. I literally, I can't wait till he turns his jersey around. Like, he's green as hell. Like, his jersey's got a ton of grass stains on him. I'm like, just look at him. He's all out of sorts. Like,
he's getting shut out too. 23-0 at the time.
Yeah, the score wasn't necessarily 23 zips. It wasn't as bad. It was just every time I turn around. Think it from a wide receiver's point of view. You run a deep route. I'm running a deep post. Get in, boom, boom. I'm looking because you always look up. You never look back. You look up. Ah, shit, he's on the ground again. Excuse my French. No, another deep route. Come to the sideline, he's on the ground again. I'm not in the game, and they're running trick plays on the ground again. It just got ugly, and then you come to the sideline and you see them talking about a video game. This is Hank, and this is the center of that team is now the offensive line coach for the Detroit Lions, and it was just
Hank Fraley.
Hank Fraley was the. Did he come in 07 or 06? No, it wasn't Hank. It wasn't Hank yet. Hank came in 07. It was Joe Andruzzi, I think.
He was just as bad.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's not always what you think, because I was literally arguing on behalf of Charlie Fry in that situation. I've yelled at him in other situations.
I remember Ruben Drones. Where did he go to school? Oregon?
Yes.
Look at that.
I think we had him here in Detroit.
We did.
Yeah, I remember.
He won
Ruben
a Super Bowl.
Jones.
The New York Giants.
Oh,
he was
man.
on the first one, 07.
Great time.
Ruben was a hell of a dude. I think he went to Denver. I think he had that big year, like 1,500 yards. Cleveland paid him and drafted me the same year. Ruben Jones, one of my favorite friends in the NFL,
Nice.
stand-up guy. But it's not always as it looks.
Absolutely. Hey, I want to get to some NBA. Braylon, your thoughts on the NBA.
We got some questions,
Where
man.
does Nikola Jokic stand here moving forward? Mike Malone on a possible dynasty. And Baby Gronk back in the news.
Gronk!
Baby Gronk's back in the news. But first, a message from Les Stanford. Standing strong for over 55 years on Michigan Avenue. Find the brand new one under one umbrella. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com. Find them.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports. Detroit's winning sports network.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Before I get to the NBA, we got this list here of the 100 storylines that
For the NFL?
For the NFL, as I look through this list, there are I mean, you could just pick any one.
Yeah.
There's an intriguing. This league is so friggin'.
It's great.
It's a mammoth league.
It's great.
I
It's
mean,
a soap opera.
It is. There's a story. Every player, every unit, every team, every city, every coach has a story, and it's just so great. I mean, I am interested in the Denver Broncos this year. That is a team to me that I'm interested in. And I just flipped the page. Storyline number 53. In Denver, the Broncos are hoping that new coach Sean Payton can revive their Russell Wilson experiment. A year after landing Wilson for a steep price via trade, the club's big acquisition this offseason is Saints head coach, who spent 2022 in unofficial retirement. Payton's formidable track record remains to be seen whether or not he can rediscover that dual threat magic that Russell Wilson had for the Seahawks. Man, just
Peyton was at the NBA Finals. Did you see him?
Yeah, I saw him.
Yeah.
That was great.
And Russell Wilson.
And Russell Wilson.
And Ciara.
Those are going to be good questions to ask, man. Speaking of talking about Sean Payton, is so much is made about Sean Payton. Let's put these two together. Sean Payton, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, when you talk about him going to New York, everybody immediately just got excited. It was, oh, man, Aaron's the guy that's going to win us the Super Bowl. He's a winner. He's one of the best quarterbacks. Last 25 years, he's the best thrower of the football. He's going to do it. Same in Denver, correct? Sean Payton knows the game. He knows how to build an offense. He knows how to build a team. He knows how to support his quarterback. You see what he did with Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara. You look what he did with that. He can do that with the Broncos. And it's immediately like, oh, yeah, Broncos can win a Super Bowl. My dumb ass picked them last year. It's the the New York Jets can win. Aaron Rodgers ain't won a Super Bowl since 2010 season. Last time I checked, Sean Payton hasn't won since the 2007 season. So what's to say that these two guys can still win? What's to say that they're the missing piece for these franchises? Now, this is just me being a cynic and playing devil's advocate, but what's to say that Sean Payton is really going to turn that franchise around? And what's to say that Aaron Rodgers isn't going to do what he's done in Green Bay, which is 13-3, home field advantage, lose. 13-3, home field advantage, lose. It's been a very long time since either one of these guys have won it.
No doubt. Speaking of winning it, that's exactly what the Denver Nuggets did. They beat the Heat 5-5. They win their first NBA championship, 47-year history of the franchise. Nikola Jokic, their MVP. Braylon, put into words your thoughts. We haven't had you in since they won it. I just want you to have the opportunity to share your thoughts because you're a big NBA guy, always trying to
try to act like I know something, right?
Get NBA topics.
That's why I left it in for you.
I appreciate that. It was amazing to watch. I think it was amazing. Let's just take a step back and watch it just from fans of the NBA. I think it was good for fans. It's like when Sacramento, everybody got behind Sacramento. It was fun to see, like the Bean, having some success. I think the same, people got behind Denver. It's not that we were hating on Miami. It's not that we don't like the Miami Heat. It's not that we don't like Spo. It's not that they don't have the quote-unquote iconic superstar. It was just damn good to see the city of Denver and the Denver Nuggets and all they've been through. You see Jamal Murray crying at the end, all that he's been through, the Achilles, the knee, Mike Malone almost being fired a couple years ago. You look at Joker, the Jokic, and what he's been through and people wanting to hate on his brilliance, his dominance. Michael Porter Jr. was drafted to be a guy and then just became one of the guys. Aaron Gordon, he's called a failure in Orlando, and he comes here, and they don't have Aaron Gordon. They don't win. It was fun to watch those guys win, and Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, I mean, they're one of the best 1-2 punches that the NBA has ever seen in terms of a finals performance, in terms of winning a championship, and I think they've started something. I think where they play through Jokic, like Jokic's dominance, man, we talked about him or Shaq and the physicality with Shaq ultimately won out, but the style of play that is the NBA today, Jokic is just as dominant, but in today's NBA, man. You run the offense through Jokic. Jokic is a 7-1 center if you need him to be. He's a 7-1 point guard if you need him to be. He's a 7-1 guy that can knock down the three. He can play small. He can play four. Rashad Phillips, gotta give him a credit. We had him on the show. UAD is on the first Allen Iverson, the baby Allen Iverson, I used to call him. NBA is a positionless basketball game now. It's a positionless game, and Denver is doing it at a high level. Jokic, you got to give that man his credit, man, to come out on top like they did. Mike Malone and Denver Nuggets, they're on to something. I think they could win I think they can win one more for sure, back to back, and then maybe lose one and then win a third one. But I think the way that they're constructed, they could win 2 more.
Hey, the way the NBA is constructed now, Bray, and we're in the 2020s here, there's a new winner every year, and you can go back to the 70s, the last time that happened. In the 70s, there were probably about 8 different champions, maybe 9 different champions. A bunch of teams played against each other a couple times, like Warriors and the Bullets, Sonics and the Bullets, stuff like that, but there was always a different winner. Yeah. That's why I really believe next year, I'm banking on the Celtics to come back next year and win. In other words, I think there'll be a new champion next year. I do love this Denver team, but they remind me of the old 4 Pistons a little. And what I mean by that is they play 1 to 12 on the bench, 1 to 12, and it didn't last long for Detroit. Will it last long here for them?
I don't think they always play 1 to 12. Like, sometimes, but the one thing you got
1 to 10 at least.
I'll give you 1 to 8.
All right.
We'll split. I'll give you 1 to 9. I'll give you 1 to 9. But the big thing about them, those guys like being in Denver. It's kind of like Detroit in a sense. Those guys have been other places and it didn't work out. Like, Ryan, when you get to other places, when you go from places, it doesn't work out. You get to a spot, you win a championship. Rasheed Wallace, once he got here, was not the same player that he was with the Portland Trail Blazers. Once he won, he damn sure didn't care about, and he never did, he didn't care about getting his raise or his popularity or advertisements or whatever. None of them cared about it. They cared about winning. It's the same thing with the Denver Nuggets to that extent. Michael Porter Jr. tried on it, and then the Denver Nuggets backed Michael Porter Jr. Had the back injury coming out of college. They extended his contract. They supported him. He's locked into Denver. Aaron Gordon was struggling with the Orlando Magic, struggling to find a home in the NBA, struggling to find a position. Denver picks him up. It works beautifully. He's also making $23 million. Michael Porter's making $31. Jokic is comfortable where he is. Foreigners are very loyal. They don't go anywhere. Giannis ain't going nowhere. Dirk, did he ever leave? He got offered the chance, got a phone call from Kobe Bryant to say, come to LA. Dirk said, I appreciate the call. I appreciate that you would even think of me in that. But I'm here in Dallas. San Antonio, Tony Parker left for 1 year at the very end to get a money grab. Mono never went anywhere. Tim Duncan never went anywhere at the Virgin Islands. I think that team is stuck in place. All of them last year, all those guys are 64 games or more, Ryan. You know how hard it is, man, to get a starting 5 to play that many games? All of them were 64 or more games. Nikola Jokic was 70, and he's the best player in the NBA. I know for sure that they will win next. We don't know for sure. I'm 99% sure they'll win next year. I think that next year is when you'll see maybe somebody beat them. They'll have to figure some things out. KCP's not going anywhere. He got cut from LA. He's happy to be making $14 million and winning another championship. Bruce Brown, he's happy to be the 6th man coming off the bench, playing as hard as he did, getting some notification. I think they can hold it together for certain one more. I think some turmoil, some change that next year, and then I think maybe they win in 4 years from now.
You know, LeBron's going to pack his team up.
Right.
He's going to put Kyrie. He's going to put everyone on. He's going to make an old man superstar team and try to knock them off next year.
Did you hear Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka? They already shot that Kyrie stuff down.
Oh, good.
They shot it down. They said, "No, we're not interested in Kyrie Irving." Like,
I'll believe it when I see it.
But they came out and said that in the presser, like,
because they're interested in Chris Paul.
Well, it got David Stern vetoed that trade back in 2008 or 2009. They were gonna have Chris Paul and Kobe play together.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's why he had to go to the Clippers.
That's right.
I'll be damned.
Guys, we're gonna take a break. Come right back. Baby Gronk in the news. You got to see it to believe it. It's terrible. And we're at fault for playing.
You get to see his dad at least.
You get to see his dad.
But is it?
Yes.
Okay.
But I am willing to
at least hear me out.
Hear you out.
Okay.
But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
Yes, Planet Fitness.
Oh, hey, JB.
Hey, we all know Planet Fitness as your judgment-free zone where you can work out for just $10 a month. But as of right now, Planet Fitness is thrilled to allow high schoolers ages 14 through 19 in the U.S. and Canada to work out for free all summer long, all the way up until August 31st with their Planet Fitness High School Summer Pass. Teens can register as of right now and officially gain access to the club all the way up until August 31st. But that's not all, because Planet Fitness is also giving away over $200,000 to high schools and students as well. All the teams that sign up for the high school summer pass can help win a scholarship for their school and participate in a TikTok video contest for a chance to win academic scholarships. Visit the landing page for more information and legal disclosure at pfsummerpasscontest.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Hey, just, Brady, we were talking about Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith. These two guys, highest paid announcers or
broadcasters,
hosts. Because like Bach and Aikman and Nance and all those guys, they make more than Skip Bayless and
what do they pull in? I think if I remember correctly, Stephen A. Smith makes 12.
Yeah,
I think he makes 12.
Highest paid ESPN employee.
Yeah, and I think Skip makes like 14 or 15.
Skip Bayless signed a 4-year, $32 million, so $8 million.
Oh,
and this was in 21.
So Stephen A. Smith is way up there. That's why he's so happy nowadays. He make more than his old partner.
Hey, man, that's absolutely right. So
why don't they just get back together again?
They're two alphas. They can't. They're two alphas. When you have a show,
right,
like a show like that, it's got to be the only time, in my opinion, a show like that has worked with two alphas.
Mad Dog?
No. It's Tony and Mike. Pardon the interruption. Tony and Mike Wilbon are 2 ones.
Yeah.
Good show.
They are like at a
Still
national,
looking like skeletons.
At a national level, you have to have somebody lead the way. You have to. And I'm not talking sidekick. I'm not.
Some side
Dan
commentary.
Patrick got 7 guys with microphones in the background.
Every 25, 30 minutes, you hear Colin say, and J Mike with the news, or J Mac with the news. So it used to be Joy Taylor, and it was the other girl. So
I guess what I'm trying to say is, those shows, man, those guys work their tails off. They live, eat, breathe the job, man.
I think too, it's always hard to stay. And I know this is gonna sound horrible, but hey, it's 2023. It's only for so long that you can keep master and pupil kind of together. That's what I said, master. Bad choice of words. But it's only for so long that you can do that, because then it's like Stephen A. worked in the business for a while before Skip had him, and Skip obviously worked in forever. Skip got him on. That show, First Take, didn't take off till Stephen A. Smith gets on there, but at the same time, Skip help Stephen A. Smith find his lane, find his voice, find how this show, the business works. But then once Stephen A. Smith, who's the pupil, start to realize, shoot, I got this, man, I'm better. Now he's like, whose show is it? So it's the master and the pupil can never stay together forever. I think that's what it is. When you come in like Tony Kornheiser and Mike Wilbon, I think they came in
they
as
created this format.
Exactly.
They created the format.
So that's like a
It's
once in a
fast
lifetime.
moving. It's good.
Whereas when you're here and you bring somebody on and then they become here, Skip and Shannon. You bring Shannon in, you teach him the show, you teach him the ropes, you teach him the format. He gets here and it's like, I can't stay pupil forever.
Now, I'm not a fan of those shows. I don't watch them.
I don't either.
It's not for me, but that doesn't mean that they're not talented guys. I'd much rather watch Colin Cowherd talk sports and listen to Mike and the Mad Dog back in the day. And I like PTI. I don't tune it on, but if it's there, I'll watch it. It's a good show. It's probably the only show on ESPN I will watch.
PTI used to be the must-see TV for me.
5:30 every night, right before the great sports center.
Yep. PTI used to be one of the shows that I would always tune into. Those shows are not for me either. No. If I watch anything, I'll watch Colin during the day. I think Colin is excellent at what he does. That's really the only one I watch. Everything else is all blowhards. Another thing you can't have is the money. When the money starts... When you start making the money, everybody wants theirs. And that is where you have to understand roles. That is where you have to understand roles. If Skip is making $8 million and Shannon's making $4 million, and you want to make $8 million,
you gotta leave.
You gotta leave. You gotta leave. Or you're gonna be like, well,
bring me the six.
I could be like, no, but this is because you're so good at what you do.
Yeah,
you're allowing me to sit here and make $4 million. You know what I mean? And it's a bad. I shouldn't use real life people for the example, but that's what it is. Like, I would take that I'd be just fine with that.
What's Shannon gonna get at ESPN?
He's not going to ESPN. He's not going to ESPN. There's no money over there. Like Shannon's going somewhere to get his own money. Like, I saw some of the stuff that he's doing kind of on his page already. He ain't going to ESPN. But here's the thing, too.
Jim Rome's a really good one. Jim Rome does the show by himself.
Yeah,
what happened to the Jim Rome?
He's on CBS.
But ain't nobody watching.
Nobody watches it.
Like back in the day, Jim Rome was that dude.
He was a must tune in. He was fun.
He could sell out buildings.
Yeah.
Jim Rome would sell out the palace.
Rome is burning.
On a
I tell you like this. Do you know who
Rome is burning? Yes.
The person I was most excited to interview with, like once I got to the phase in Michigan, maybe to the end of my junior year, where I knew I was staying and I knew I was at that level, I couldn't wait to get interviewed by Jim Rome. I was like, once I know I'm on Jim Rome, I said, I know it's big time. That's how big Jim Rome was, and I think I interviewed with him right before the draft in 2005.
Rack him.
And then it was
rack him.
I saw the heck yeah, man. You know the interview I saw. I was like, I got to get on that show.
What did he call those people?
Chris Everett,
clones?
Clones.
The clones.
Chris Everett.
Can I just say, I went to a Jim Rome tour stop in Detroit at the Palace. The place was sold out. You could not get a ticket to Jim Rome. There was over 15,000 people.
Wow.
Because that was, he
was on the radio then.
Well, yeah, but he was on the radio. He was on 11:30 a.m.
radio
at
was
the time
big.
and the national. But he had 15,000 people, and that was technically a sellout because the stage and nobody was behind the stage. Right. There isn't a television personality on today. Not Colin, not Stephen A., not Skip, not Shannon, not Greeny, not no one.
Yeah.
You could have PTI there, not no one that would sell out 15,000 fans to do a show any longer.
Shoot,
nobody. There's just that passion is not there from people anymore.
We'll just pay for the link. How much is it?
Yeah, right.
You know why? Because there's too much.
Yeah, there's too
much.
It's oversaturated.
Yeah, it's oversaturated.
Same freaking time.
Yeah.
Same freaking time. But yeah.
It is what it is.
But it also too, before I forget, as you were talking about Skip, Shannon, 4 million, it also depends on where your aspirations, where your dreams, where your goals. Because if your goal was
100%.
to get to Fox, to get on TV, for people to talk about you, if you're confident with that, or competent with that, complacent with that, you can do like you said. Hell, you know what? I'm excited. I got 4 million. I'm good. I'm single. Like, I'm 53. I'm in the Hall of Fame. I'm good. But if you want to do more, Club Shay Shay, gardening shows, you're doing this. I want to be at the. Then you got to go elsewhere. It depends on what are your aspirations and dreams. Where are you comfortable?
A lot of people on the chat want
JT the Brick.
No, they want a job here as an audio engineer. They want to come in and fix our audio.
Fix it?
Can you fix it?
They're like, there's a bunch of kids at Specs Howard. I think they could fix it. It's beyond that, guys.
Did we have a Specs Howard read back in 2021?
We're trying, man. There's something going on underneath here, and we'll get it fixed.
Somebody here is sabotaging this, man. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Oh man,
I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. It might be the late James girl. The man we turned off.
I gotta get to this. I gotta get to this ESPN breaking story. We'll do it next, involving 60 Georgia football players.
Don't forget Gronk.
60?
Yeah, maybe we'll do it tomorrow. We'll see. We'll talk about it.
Whatever you want.
But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircut for Men. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience, and you'll be automatically registered to win not one but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, your wife, your girlfriend, your best bud. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Wicked awesome.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
All right, I'm just reading ESPN.com.
What are you over there looking at?
The Georgia football players.
Oh, Lord.
What did they do?
No speeding.
Upwards of 60 traffic violations since 2021.
I knew it had something to do with
the
moving
team
violations.
has had at least 10 reports of traffic-related moving violations since the accident on January 15th. It killed a player and a member of the staff.
So Stetson Bennett, Jalen
Support
Carter,
staff.
dudes didn't bother these kids.
Nothing.
But you know what that is? That's already been a thing. And no one knew about it until the accident, until the crash, until it gets publicity for that. Now you get people being nosy like, well, if they're out there doing it, who else on that Bulldogs or who else within that team, that organization, who else is doing this? Now you got people checking it. That's how you got that stuff. I bet you're talking college kids. You're talking like college campuses. Guarantee you the average on any college campus since then, so what's that, 6 months?
Yeah.
Any college team, football team, average got to be 35, 40.
I always drove slower in college towns because people don't pay attention. They just walk in the street. So I was always driving slower.
Yeah, that's true. Not me.
Hey,
when you scoring touchdowns, I ain't care about speed.
That's right. Hey, let me get to this Baby Gronk story. Here's a clip, and I want to hear Braylon's side of the story on this because it's all going one way. Here's Baby Gronk being coached by his dad on a podcast. His dad is feeding him the answers, making the interviewers re-ask their questions.
Are you him is the real question.
Yes.
See, I'm going to punch him in.
Punch
Ask
him
that
in.
again, bro. Say, man, what kind of question is that? You see my Instagram? Say that. Ready? Go. All right, go
Hey,
ahead.
Baby Gronk, are you him?
What kind of question is that? Look at my Instagram.
Would you take her to prom someday?
Hey, no, say it again, bro. You got to say, man, I already DM'd her and asked her, and she said yes. All right, come on, man. Say on the mic.
Hey, Baby Gronk, would you take Livy Dunn to prom, you think?
I already DM'd her and she said yes.
Damn. Damn. What kind of tuxedo you getting? OG James Bond style or what?
Yeah. Nah, hey, say it again, bro.
Hey, what kind of
hold
tuxedo
on.
you
Say,
getting?
I'm gonna get a Gucci one. Ready?
Hey, what kind of tuxedo you getting?
I'm gonna get a Gucci one.
What are you gonna do, to stay sharp and keep your skills up if you're actually not gonna go through with middle school and high school?
Just work out.
No, I'm gonna get massages. I'm gonna get full body massages by some baddies. All right, ready? Go. You want to ask it again, bro?
Yeah.
All right, go.
I saw that you're foregoing middle school and high school football. How are you gonna keep preparing yourself to play college football in this whole process?
I'm gonna get body massages by baddies.
Anything you want to say before we dip out, Baby Gronk?
I'm the number 1 4th grade football player in the world, and flex, and that's it. Ready? Stand right there.
Say it one more time.
Yeah.
Hey, Baby Gronk, before I wrap up, bring the juice. Anything you want to say to Bring the Juice Nation today?
I'm the number 1 4th grader in the world.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right,
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. You're the one discussing.
I just think this guy's dad said since the time he was 6, he's been quote unquote programmed. That word bothers me. Programmed to be this elite athlete that only eats this, that, and the other thing to make sure that he's an NFL player. And I just, as the father of a 6-year-old kid, I can't imagine programming him to do anything. But then the other side of that, to me, and we said this, then there's Richard Williams and there's Tiger Woods' dad. It does work out for some people.
Special people.
It did not work out for Todd Marinovich. Right. Go watch that 30 for 30.
That's right.
So and it probably,
that's a great one too.
For every Tiger Woods, there are probably 10,000 people that don't make it, maybe more than that. So, that's just how I feel about it.
No, I mean, and you have absolutely every right. And you look at it, you see, he gets asked the question, and then he talks and say, "Hey, no, what you want to ask this?" And you say that. It definitely looks like a father pushing their child into the limelight so that they can reap all the benefits, so they can, for lack of a better phrase, whore or pimp their kid out. And that part of it, in a bad way, So that definitely seems it could be an element of it. But I just looking for the relationship value of it, man. Like boys, we kill to be with our fathers.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like we kill to spend time with our fathers, to learn from our fathers, whether it's sport, whether it's education. Shoot, you want to be a father? Tell me about medicine. I don't care. I just want to be around my father. Definitely, there's a lot of love there. Like I've seen their page. I see a lot of love from him to him, and it could come off a little bit, whatever. But I just think it's them him trying to corner the market. Like they see an opportunity now. Him also wanting his son to have success. Every kid grows up watching this stuff now. Like every kid has access to a handheld phone, whether they're stealing it from their mom or stealing it from their dad or their grandma, or it's their iPad. They're watching clips of Gronkowski, or they're watching clips of LeBron James or Nikola Jokic. Shout out to them for winning again. They want to be that, and so he's helping them. He sees a lane. He's opening it up. I mean, he's probably monetizing it to a certain extent, which means more groceries, more cool games for the kid to buy for his Xbox 5 or whatever the hell somebody has given him, PS5. So I see it as it could be a good thing, and it just maybe that particular clip came out bad. It's also devil's advocate. It could be exactly what it looks like. He could be horning something out, but they just look happy as a family in a lot of their other video stuff.
Do you remember the video I played for you guys back in the day?
When
of
he was
the
on the
father
treadmill,
working out the kid?
On the treadmill.
What was he, like 8 years old?
It's about 8, 9. But I went through that. Like, I'm speaking from experience. Like, Stan wasn't no joke. Like, he may not have made me play football. He didn't. Like, I had to beg to play football. Once again, Dad played football. But I ran track, and I was doing that stuff back then. I was doing all that kind of stuff back then.
Thank God you did.
Thank God it worked. You know what I'm saying? Because this is to your point, if it didn't work, I could have PTSD from all the stuff my dad made me resentful as hell, don't want to deal with him. Maybe I didn't have success. I didn't get it in Michigan. Instead, I went to some school. I dropped out. Like, it could have went a different way if that didn't happen. So I mean, it doesn't look good, but it could be better than it looks.
The great Braylon Edwards, great to have you back. I love everybody, and you get us out of here today.
Look, good to be back. Glad to be back. Maz won't be with us tomorrow.
My gosh. You're not here Thursday, Friday, or Monday.
I'm going to go home to Jersey. My twin nieces are like my daughters. They're graduating. Big party at Jersey Mike's and my sister Jen's.
Oh, man.
And I get to spend Father's Day, knock wood, with my dear old dad, Sammy Maz, working on 96 years young.
Unbelievable.
And still kicking ass.
Enjoy that Father's Day.
I'm gonna. So I'm looking forward to going home and eating some pizza, and I'm gonna go to sit in Tony Soprano's buffet at Holston's.
You gotta text me a picture.
You got it.
You gotta send a picture. Look at you and I both celebrating Juneteenth on Monday.
There you go, baby.
Oh, yeah.
All right, very good.
I'll be driving home, though.
Yeah, right. All right, gang. We'll see you. You get us out.
Good to be back. We talked about it. Just glad to be back. See you guys tomorrow. Guess what? Cap or no cap Friday.
Cap or no cap.
Cap or no cap Friday. Tomorrow, top 10. Be excited. Be ready for it because it will be exclusive. See you tomorrow.
Ooh, I like that.